Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another exciting meeting at Toastmasters for Hyderabad Entrepreneurs 2.0. Every day is a learning. Every day you get something to know and grow and become a better version of yourself. And that's what Toastmasters is all about. Today we have an intriguing topic. And let me invite this Toastmaster who took a break, but he continued his journey by joining back. As they say, once a Toastmasters, always a Toastmasters. Toastmaster Ravindra Verma as the Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raghu.
I'm sorry, before that, he's going to be evaluated on Pathways project, which is managed online meeting. And let me invite Toastmaster Rohan to give the speech objectives so that audience knows this is one of the projects in Pathways. Rohan.
Sure. Thank you so much, distinguished Toastmaster Raghu. The speaker Toastmaster of the day today is attempting his Pathway Level 4 project online meetings. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice facilitating an online meeting or leading a webinar. So in this case, I think he's managing the meeting on a whole. And the speech, I'll be looking out for a well-organized meeting and the Toastmaster to disseminate some information to attendees at the session. And I'll also be on the lookout for excellent facilitation and public speaking skills on part of the member attempting the project. And back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rohan. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ravindra Verma. It's all to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raghu. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Before I start, let me check with you how many self-care doctors are there in our group. I'll give you some symptoms and you need to tell me the medicine like tablet or syrup, whatever. Let's get started. A medicine for a common cold. Anyone?
Vitamins.
Cold
Tablets.
Great. And?
Vitamins D.
Wonderful. Anyone else? Okay. A medicine for fever. I know everybody will tell paracetamol. Apart from paracetamol, any other medicine there in your mind?
Dolo. Dolo 650.
Dolo is also, a composition, comes with a composition of paracetamol. And
someone said alcohol.
don't tempt me, sir.
No, someone did mention this. I don't know who.
All right. Medicine for cough. We usually call cough syrup, right? When we go to medical stores. All right.
Rex.
For S. Okay.
Rex.
Yeah. And acidity? Yes. I mean, the composition might be difficult to pronounce. Again, we go to medical stores and we call acidity tablets, right?
Gelusil.
Sorry, can you repeat it?
Gelusil.
Exactly. Yeah. One of the best medicines. Yeah. But congratulations. You're all qualified self-care medical practitioners, isn't it? Dear Toastmasters and guests, I'm Ravindra Verma and I'm Toastmaster of the day. Today, my theme is Hidden Facts of Modern Medicine. Well, if I ask you the most popular medical system on the earth, with no doubt, you will tell me it's an English medicine or allopathic medicine. Almost whole world population is dependent on allopathic medicine, from a small cold symptom to a chronic disease like the cancer. Sometimes I wonder, can we survive without allopathic medicine, is it? Do you ever think how it evolved and why is it so popular among other medical systems? Any thoughts? Well, before we go into the facts, I would like to introduce explain the structure of today's meeting. The meeting is divided into 3 parts. The first part is the prepared speeches, where members will be delivering speeches based on their projects and pathways that they have chosen. And the second part, which is most interesting part, is table topics round, where the members can practice thinking and speaking on their feet. This round is also known as impromptu speech. Guests are also welcome to participate in this round as well. The third and final part is the evaluation round, in which all the prepared speeches as well as other aspects of the session will be evaluated. Right? We have wonderful evaluators available to evaluate our prepared speeches. Apart from our evaluators, we have tag team to assist evaluators and also monitor the quality of a meeting. I would like to request them to introduce themselves and explain their roles. Let me first call upon the timer, Toastmaster Rela, to explain her role to the audience.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravindra. Greetings to fellow Toastmasters and guests. And I am Rela Lumbini, your timer for today. And I'll let you know the timing rules for the meeting. And they are like, as we have 3 segments, with first one is speech and second one with table topics and third with evaluations. For the speech, we will have the timing of 5 to 7 minutes. And for everything, there will be a grace period of 30 seconds. If the speech is less than 4 minutes, 4 minutes 30 seconds, or it is more than 7 minutes 30 seconds, it will be disqualified. When the speech is at 4 minutes, I'll be displaying green card. Like I'll be displaying it through my virtual background. And when the speech is for 5 minutes, okay. At 5 minutes, I'll be displaying green card, and at 6 minutes, I'll be displaying the yellow card, and the 7 minutes, I'll be displaying the red card. I hope everyone can see my virtual backgrounds. Yeah. And for table topics, it will be from 1 to 2 minutes, where I'll be displaying green at 1 minute, and at 1 minute, 30 seconds, I'll be displaying yellow, and at 2 minutes, I'll be displaying the red. And for evaluations, it will be from 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I'll be displaying the green card, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I'll be displaying the yellow card, and 3 minutes, I'll be displaying the red card. So I hope everyone understood the timing rules of their speeches, and I'll be presenting my report at the end after the speakers and evaluations are done with their speeches. And I hand it over to you, Toastmaster Ravindra.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rela. Adding to Toastmaster Rela, we will be having 30 seconds grace period of time. Probably you can consider that as well. Now, may I call upon our counter of the day, Toastmaster Annie Mary.
Good morning, and it's my pleasure to have a double role today. I am the grammarian and also the AR counter. And my role as grammarian is really to monitor the use of the English language. I'm also the grammar police, so I'm monitoring everybody's speed today. We do not want any fast speaking. We're so driven to perform that sometimes we forget the detail is in the grammar and we talk too fast. English is a language for slow pace. Just remember that. I will be listening to word usage, incomplete sentences, pronunciation, and any misuse of words. And I want to encourage you to use creative language at every opportunity. As the AR counter, I am also monitoring use of filler words, but, so, well, you know. And at the end of the session, I'll give my report. Over to you, Mr. PE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Annie Mary. So, my dear Toastmasters, be very careful. We have a police with double designations here. Well, do you know how this allopathic medicine evolved? Well, history told us the father of medicine is Hippocrates from Greece, who lived in around 2,400 years ago. But it is actually evolved as a mumbo-jumbo witchcraft on Nile Valley 5,000 years ago. And it travels through Egypt and to Arabia. A man called Isabsain, who did a lot of modifications to it. Right? From him, it again went back to Greece. Then we all know the story. Hippocrates, he established a university, medical university, based on these principles. There are many students joined with him. They traveled across the globe. That's how it spread across the world, how we see it today. I know all the speakers are eagerly evaluating to deliver the speech, and the time to call for the prepared speeches.
I forgot the word of the day, and that's to innovate. Innovators are leaders. I'm so carried away with my double role. So try and get the word of the day. Innovative, innovate. Thank you.
Thank you so
Innovate.
much. Thank you so much. Toastmaster Raghu, is your speech title shared?
Yes. I shared in chat, and
Oh, okay.
then you can invite the evaluator to check.
Sure.
I'll send again to you.
Okay, I'm checking in the chat. 1 second.
Meanwhile, you can invite the evaluator.
Yeah. Well, is it the same evaluator?
Manasa.
Okay, great. Well, may I invite Toastmaster Manasa to deliver the objectives of Toastmaster Raghu's speech?
Thank you, Toastmaster of today. The objective or the purpose of the project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. And Toastmaster Raghu is gonna deliver his speech and all the best. And I will give my evaluation at the end. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manasa. Toastmaster Raghu, are we really free? Are we really free, Toastmaster Raghu? All the best.
I am from India, a sovereign and independent nation. Our constitution does speak about it. So are all of you representing your country, the independence of your country. But I have a question for you. One question. Are we really free and independent? I doubt it. I was about 8 years old, always fascinated by the gospel of Christ that I used to hear from my friends at school. One day, I came home with the Bible in my hand and a cross in my neck. I was thrashed and lectured for very long. I didn't get to choose the religion of my choice. When we force our children to follow the religion of our choice, and we have such polarized views about somebody's religion, and in fact, force children to follow a religion itself. A friend of mine from Canada suffered all her life because she was from a Catholic family, and she was an atheist all her life from her childhood. Are we really free with such mindset? Are we independent? I doubt it. I always suffered stuttering in my life till I joined Toastmasters. In the year 2007, I joined a middle-sized organization. Few days into the team, I noticed one of my teammates was given the opportunity to visit the United States as part of the project. I was surprised. I was also one of the senior resources. I went to my manager and asked him, why not me? And manager Uday said, because you stutter. Because I stutter? All my hard work, all my knowledge is down the drain. When we don't give equal opportunities and put down people based upon their physical or mental disabilities, are we really free and independent? I doubt it. Last year, I listed a property for sale on website. Somebody called me. He asked me everything about the property. And in the end, he asked me, what is your cost? What is your creed? Huh? I asked, how did it even matter? He said it mattered to him. I hung up the phone thinking his education was incomplete. With such mindset, with such repulsive mindset, or such indifference to people, where we differentiate people based upon the caste, creed, color, sexuality, are we really free and independent? I doubt it. Only if my parents would have been inclusive enough to accept me irrespective of the religion I followed. Only if my boss was inclusive enough to give me equal opportunity irrespective of my disabilities. Only if as a society, if we are open enough to accept others irrespective of their caste, creed, color, sexuality, or the choices of life, probably then we would have been proud enough, isn't it? If everybody had to be equal and same, God would have made robots, not human beings. The differences that we have is what we need to respect. Unless we respect that, we cannot be free. It doesn't matter which country you belong to. It doesn't matter whether you are black, white. It doesn't matter whether you're an American or Indian, whether you are Pakistan. It doesn't matter where you belong to, which sexuality you belong to. But when you stand in the crowd and you look at your neighbor and you cannot see the person as equal as you, and you cannot be inclusive enough, my dear friend, my question still stands. Are we really free and independent? I doubt it. Toastmaster.
What a wonderful speech. By questioning us, he explained the current situation problems in a nice way. I really admired with his speech. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raghu. Well, coming back to my theme today, we believe in English medicine because it is evidence-based science. And if your answer is yes, this fact is for you. In 127 AD, Professor Galen researched and said, blood is pumped from liver. For 1500 years, my friends, every physician treated their patients based on this theory. Even several medical researchers supported this theory until 1628. A London physician done a lot of research on animals and human bodies and proved heart pumps blood. Is it really evidence-based science? It is actually repetitive research to prove the same mistake for me. Now it's time to invite our second speaker of the day. Before I invite our second speaker, I would like to invite the evaluator of our second speaker, Toastmaster Nisak.
It's DTM Padma Kumar.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, Toastmaster DTM Padma Kumar to deliver the objectives of our speaker.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster of the day. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So DTM Nisar is going to give a speech today to demonstrate that speeches do need a specific purpose if they have to be effective. So he is going to let us know how to develop speeches with a purpose and how it can be delivered in a well-organized fashion. The time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. All the very best, sir. Back to you, TMoD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Padma Kumar, sir. Toastmaster Nisar, miles to grow. Miles to grow, Toastmaster Nisar. Over to you, sir.
I want the help of our audience today to tell me one letter, one character, which is a prefix to miles to grow, to make you more happier, Can anybody help me with the single letter to add as a prefix to miles to grow?
Smiles to grow.
Thank you, Padma Kumarji. Appreciate your perfect word, smiles to grow. So a smile is a powerful, universally accepted gesture or symbol for people from all cultures, backgrounds who appreciate the fact of a smile. A smile can change the course of your interaction. If you meet people whom you're meeting for the first time, a smile can open doors and people are reciprocative of how you would interact with them. A smile can also strengthen relationships. Our mind understands smile as happiness. Our mind releases chemicals like dopamine, endorphins to showcase our mood. It's a natural mood booster. A smile can really change the way we interact. I'm glad today I could see all of you as an audience and I could interact with you. In my contest, I was pinned to the screen and there was no interaction. So part of my speech really fell apart. I'm glad that today it is more interactive. Tell me, how many of you feel the need to smile on a day-to-day basis? You feel tensed or sad, either at your workplace or your office, your college, your home. How many of you feel this on a day-to-day basis? Raghu, Ravindra ji, DTM Rosaline. I have a simple methodology. It's called ABC to solve this challenge. You know, smiling every day is a practice and it's as simple as ABC. A is for action of smiling. Now, maybe early on, it might be difficult for you to smile at any given point of time, but I have several methods. So A is for action. It's as simple as, let's say, breathe in. When you breathe out, you just smile automatically. If you want to try, you can give it a shot. And you smile automatically. It's just a matter of practice. That is one way, the easier way. There are other ways. I have been a creative person all my life. So I have practiced seeing things in nature, in trees. You can see any design in a curtain. You can see designs on the floor. And you can try to relate of how that design or that element can bring a smile on your face. Also, there are ways like, let's say, listening to music. It can bring a smile. It can bring a different emotional element for you to smile. You can also dance. A dance will bring in that element of a smile on your face and where you will start enjoying, your body will start enjoying. So anything that can trigger a smile would help. B is for baby holding. When I used to come back from work and I used to hold my daughter in my arms, it would bring a smile on our faces. And it would really relax me and I was more comfortable. Slowly, I found that baby holding was a game changer in bringing up the smile, bringing happiness. So if you don't have your own babies, you can look at your neighbors or even strangers. If you can just ask them if I can hold your baby, that really would give you a lot of smiles on your face. And C is collect your pieces of happiness. On a day-to-day basis, each one of us comes across something which brings a smile on their face. If you can collect this on a day-to-day basis, just write down what was that incident that brought a smile on your face, put it on paper and put it in a container. Do this every day. At the end of the month, you can open each piece of paper and you will recollect that on so and so date, I smiled because I was happy of that particular moment. This way, you can follow a practice. In summary, remember A, B, C. A is for action of smiling, B is for baby holding, and C is for collecting your happy moments. I wish all the best to all of you to create more happy moments where you smile every day. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmasters, sir, for your.
I forgot being innovative.
No, not at all. I like the the technique ABC. Well, now let us take 1 minute pause. That helps audience to give a feedback to the speaker. Timer, please count. Count the time. Well, hope everyone would have given the feedback to the speaker. Well, we all know the composition of drug is made from chemicals. Are these safe to our body? Dr. D.C. Wallace, a professor of medicine, has done a research on this. He invented a mitochondrial chip and attached this to a drug and sent it to human body. You know what? He got a shocking results. When the chemical drug enters into your body, liver first reacts to this and try to filter it and send only 10% of that particular medicine. That means to send 10% of a drug, they need to add more 90% of doses to it. It causes non-alcoholic cirrhosis liver. It also equally damages how an alcoholic does, right? So now it's time to invite our third speaker. Before I invite our third speaker, I would like to invite Toastmaster Mary Thomas to deliver this piece of objectives.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening. I'm honored tonight to evaluate distinguished Toastmaster Rosalind Khan, who is a fellow member of Leaders Worldwide Toastmasters Club. In evaluating her, I would be looking for her speech purpose statement. This is the speech from the pathway Strategic Relationships Level 1. Project is speech with a purpose. Therefore, I am looking for the speech purpose statement, which is delivered in a well-organized, well and clearly focused delivery. The goal is to meet the expressed purpose statement with a well-executed speech. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mary Thomas. Well, DTM Rosalind Khan TV trauma to tragedy. TV trauma to tragedy, DTM Rosalind. Over to you.
Emergency. 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 We have just discovered there's a time capsule has just been opened, found in the ocean. Let's see what the ingredients of this time capsule are. Oh my gosh, there was a young lady, Elizabeth Smart, 14 years old, found after 9 months in captivity. Number 2, Connie Chung was the first Asian to replace Barbara Walters, most known for her interview of Irvin Johnson when he became a victim of AIDS. Number 3, George W. Bush was looking at engaging in a war, and his one thing to find out whether we should go ahead and attack Saddam Hussein was, were there weapons of mass destruction? Tonight's regularly scheduled program has been interrupted due to this special alert, and the interview that was to be scheduled with Connie Chung, who was to interview Rosalind Khan, has been postponed to some further date. Jeffrey Fry once stated that success is 7% luck, 8% talent, and 92% showing up on time. Madam Toastmasters and most welcome guest, I was really excited when I had this unique opportunity to teach a class in small group communication. I was so eager. I got to the school and there's several things I do to warm up my students. Number 1, I tell them 2 things. Show up on time and turn your work in on time. We see this every occupation, every job. It's not just teaching. We all know about this. But I hand my students a piece of paper. It says, getting to know you. Tell me about yourself, your background, your information, things that I might need to know. And one student said that they were bipolar and not on medicine. I said, whatever. Now, one day in class, Joe Smith comes up to me and says, Professor Khan, do you think you might mentor our political club? He tells me the name and I say, well, you know, we come from different political parties, but it's okay. I can do that. Well, students, as you may know, have trouble showing up on time. 18 students in the class, and there's 15 of them that do it and 3 can't. And I said, thinking about what's going on in the world, we're about ready to enter a war, and there's a president of the United States who thinks that there's weapons of mass destruction. What if I simply ask the question, are there really weapons of mass destruction? Are they not? And send a letter to George W. Bush, because we need to know, are we going to war or not going to war? Now, you know, when the United States is going to war, there's no time to write individual customized letter to individuals about what their thoughts and inclinations might be. And my students, rather than turning their stuff in on time, decided to attack me. They tried to riddle my reputation and kick me out of teaching. How did they do that? They contacted this organization called FIRE that doesn't burn down a building, but can certainly destroy an individual. What they do is they go after people who they think are not doing the right thing in the classroom, talking about politics where politics aren't due. And so they pulled me out of the classroom. And suddenly I was on the defense line at all the different schools. And my name was in a political warfare. Before viral became a word, every TV, radio station you heard, teacher talking politics in the classroom, kicked out for minding the minds of her students. And at one school, they went ahead and asked me this question, are you doing those same political activities at our school? I said, no. I have a gentleman who's from my class who's a sergeant in the Marines at Camp Pendleton, who drives from Camp Pendleton in San Diego 2 hours to come to Pasadena City College. and take my class. And his job in the military is sending the people off to war. I couldn't be prouder to have that student in my classroom. We better make sure you're not doing those political things here at this school. It's not politics. It's simply telling my students to show up on time. Now, if we go to the next school, I'd come in and they were talking about this crazy wild teacher. And this guy from the South has this crazy voice. He says, oh, that teacher, you should get her out of the system. She's crazy, absolutely crazy, fire her. And they told me there that my classroom was my castle. The third school, I had an attorney and he said two things: don't talk to your students about the controversy. And number two, you can't do any interviews. Well, I was blown away to have the first Asian American who interviewed Irvin Johnson to call me on the phone, and she wanted to interview me. You heard about that opportunity. That was out. And then these kids were just outrageous and I didn't know what had come down. And I said, they must know, they must know. But I couldn't talk to them. And there was another story on the news and I was in the court and out of the court and in the court. And finally, one day, they decided I was going to mediation. As I arrived in mediation, I told my story. I'm a teacher in the college. I asked two things: show up on time, and number two, turn your work in on time. They turned it into a slander against me. I love my students more than anything, and it was all about showing up on time. I finished my statement. I left the room. My attorney looked at me and he said, you are by far the best storyteller I've ever heard. It was the waiting game, It was all about time. I wasn't a political crazy person. It was about showing up on time. The letter arrived. I opened it up and I won. They took my case that it wasn't politics. It was showing up on time. We're all battled in life about things that they say that aren't true, that people lie. They try to discredit your name. They try and get you out of teaching. I got more interviews that year than ever before. And most recently, the same school that told me the classroom was my castle just awarded me this award for the best teacher at Los Angeles City College. So hang on to your chairs. Life is not a bowl of cherries. If TV trauma and those things in that time capsule get in the way, President Bush going to war, and those other things, stand up, state your ground, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, DTM Rosling. My request, Toastmasters in the room, can share your feedback to the speaker. Timer, can you calculate the time for 1 minute? Hope everyone shared their feedback. Well, you might wonder, can we survive without Western medicine since we are all totally dependent on this system? Then these metrics are for you. An audit on doctor strike in Saskatchewan, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing right, a doctor strike Canada in 1962 Los Angeles County doctor strike in 1976, Bogota, California doctor strike in 1997, Israel doctor strike in 1950, 1970s, and in 2002 showed that the mortality rate has almost came down during this period. If you are not, if you are not trusting, you can read an article, Death Rate Drops During Doctor Strike, in chapter 3 of Moral Climate of Healthcare. Please Google it. Now, I know we are all waiting for an interesting section, that is table topics. Let me introduce our charming DTM Toastmaster Raghu to take over the table topics. Toastmaster Raghu, over to you.
Thank you very much for the introduction. My stomach is full and I'm not going to have my dinner. I'm going to tell Kalpana not to cook anything. But then the impromptu speech is all about being impromptu, talking on your toes, because life is not a prepared speech. But you can go prepared with some capabilities that I'm going to tell as part of this process. First of all, when you want to speak on toes, you need to practice it. You need to read a lot and build your well. And then you need to know how to draw water out of this well, that is the words out of your mind. And then you need to present it in a structure. Irrespective of what you're speaking, everything has a purpose. The purpose of every communication is for the words to cross your mouth and to reach the ears of the audience. You need to understand it. And then when you are leaving that message, people have to hear it and get that message. Every time that you speak, that 1 to 2 minutes of time is making a large impact, whether on your customer, whether on your boss, or any walk of life. And today, we are going to practice that in Toastmasters because it's a fail-safe environment. I'm going to give you a topic. You need to speak for at least for 1 minute because that is time more. And then you can speak for maximum for 2 minutes, but there's a grace period of 30 seconds. I will invite a Toastmaster to practice and then to demo it, and then we'll see if any of the guests in the meeting today can participate and then practice in table topics. Let me invite Toastmaster Rohan as the first speaker. Rohan, I'll make it simple for you. What makes you you? Or in other words, what makes you unique, Toastmaster Rohan?
I think values are what makes a person unique in this world, because everyone comes with a different perspective to life. Everyone grows up with different values and preferences, and is heavily around him or her as they grow up. So for me, the values that are more particularly important to me, that make me me, of empathy and compassion, because without that we are nowhere in the world, and it helps us to relate to other human beings in our capacity. Now, this is obviously, for me, it has been a learned time where I have been actively cultivating this value, and oftentimes I've failed in the ups and downs and challenges of life. But I think this value is what makes us unique. It makes all of us on the planet or in this room even relate to these values, because ultimately Toastmasters is guided by certain values of respect, integrity, service, and excellence, and that's what binds us. I think values are what makes us unique, and I think that would be the defining value for me as well. Back to you, Raghu.
Thank you very much, Rohan. Now, who's going next? Wonderful, Toastmaster Ekta. Ekta, was there a moment in your life when you had to compromise in your values? Was there a moment in your life when you had to compromise with your values, Toastmaster Ekta?
Thank you, Raghu, for this beautiful topic on whether we ever need to compromise on our values. I believe there are many situations where you believe where you have to choose between what is right and what is not. And what is right could differentiate from a situation to situation. There was an instance in my life when I had newly come to my in-laws' house. I was married, and what was probably right at my parents' place was not right at my in-laws' place because of the uh, culture, the cultural difference that was there. So, I mean, I had to grow myself, adapt to the situation, and accept the new set of values and understand the beauty and understand that there is nothing which is right or wrong in every situation. Each situation has to be evaluated in its own sense, and accordingly, we need to adapt and react to those situations. So that is a personal story where I realized that yes, the values change from time to time and from situation to situation, and you need to adapt to it. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ekta. Values keep changing time to time, and that's what Dharma speaks about. Toastmaster Mohit, next topic for you. You, gratitude is the wine for soul. Go on, get drunk. Gratitude is the wine for soul. Go on, get drunk, Toastmaster Mohit.
Okay. Gratitude is a wine for soul. Go on, get drunk. It's a wonderful topic, I must say. When we are facing any challenges, we are blaming to others. We are blaming to situation. We are not focusing on ourselves. What these problems, this difficulty make us stronger or loser. So these are difficulties will give us a chance to be stringent in ourselves. And we need to be gratitude. We need to have some gratitude towards the career, towards the surrounding, where the different exposure we are getting from every interaction with people, or maybe in a class, or maybe the meeting, or whatever the corporate culture. So we need to gratitude to first of all forgive whatever happened, then let it go, all the grudges, and go forward towards journey, a better bright future for ourselves, as well as we create an impact to the society by having gratitude in our mind always, that we build a positive mindset to make our future bright. Over to you, Toastmaster Raghunandaraj.
Thank you very much. Anybody from guest who want to attempt? Corinne NG, Ishwar Rao, or Dr. C. Malesh? Anybody who want to try table topic? Okay. I keep saying people while attempting table topic, it's almost like your high school love. If you keep waiting to propose, somebody else takes a girl or boy. So don't wait. Next time never comes. Tomorrow never dies. Okay, let me invite somebody else. Vamshi, do you want to try?
Sure, Raghu. Yeah, I will try.
Vamshi, the topic for you is beach, hill station, or a world-class city. What type person are you? Beach, hill station, or a world-class city? What type of person are you? Toastmaster Vamshi.
Thank you, Raghu, for giving a wonderful topic. I'm the hill station and the beach type of person. Coming to the like the type of person as a beach type. Most of us, like, you will think it like for beach, for enjoying the weather and nature, whatever, like it's giving the things that you are enjoying with that. That is the beach. That is the type of beach. When I going to the beach, thought it like enjoying the nature and whatever they are, like special places surrounding us. That is the type of person, beach type of person. And going to hill station. In addition to that, the nature, enjoying the nature with the hill station, and you will think it that coming to applying to the life with that hill station, sometimes ups and downs will come. In that aspect, just most of the times I'm correlating with the hill station, like sometimes downs, sometimes ups. Then that is common in life. Just I comparing sometimes with the hill station. Sometimes smiles are coming, then I compare with the beaches. Yeah, I'm both types of the person for hill station and beach. Yeah, thank you. Over to you.
Love your attempts at Toastmaster Vamshi comparing hill station and then beach with life is something that very few people do it. You nailed it, I would say. Talking about that, who is next? Should I pick up somebody? Are you going to nominate yourself? Guess Toastmaster Amanda, do you want to try?
No, thank you. No.
No problem. Dr. Mary Thomas, do you want to try? Mary Thomas? Okay, no problem. Anybody else? TTM Padmakumar.
Sure.
I'm going to make it interesting for you. Okay. So because you are specialist in storytelling, this is for you. I will give you 3 characters and you need to build a story around it. The time is 1 to 2 minutes, and then you'll also practice few more with you. The characters here are king and queen, and then a crane, a bird crane, okay, and then a frog, and then a pond. Story 1, 2, 3, start.
Wistfully standing on the terrace, with her eyes fixed on the far horizon, the queen had tears in her eyes. Seeing her in such a mood, the king came in and said, "Darling, what is bothering you?" "Well," said the queen, "you married me more than 6 years ago, and I have been praying for the stork or the crane to visit us. It has been in vain all along." The king said, "Not to worry. Today must be our lucky day. Let us stand, hold hands, and close our eyes. And let us hope that very soon we will have what our heart desires." So they did that. They held hands, closed their eyes, and prayed with all their might. Couple of minutes later, sure enough, when they opened the eyes, they found a slimy frog at their foot. And they were really happy that they had read the story of the Frog Prince hardly a week ago. And they were sure that the stork could not bring a full-fledged baby and therefore had brought this frog. They took the frog to the pond and made sure that they provided all the facilities to the frog on an ongoing basis, taking care of its food, taking care of all of its requirements until one fine day. Happy with the efforts that the king and queen had done, the frog indeed turned into a very handsome prince. And then they all live happily ever after. Thank you very much. Back to you, Tim Toastmaster.
That's the virtual storyteller, DTM Padma Kumar. Last but not least, to the person who is silently listening to all of us and then helping us with the time, Toastmaster Rela, this topic is for you. I want you to come on stage. Can you put your video on? Wonderful.
Can
Toastmaster,
anyone track time for me?
sure. Toastmaster Rela, what is success as per you? What is success as per you, Toastmaster Rela?
Success as for me. I don't think this question I can answer yet, but for now, I'll say that success is being content with yourself, being content with your life, being able to be happy with what you have, and trying to grow in a direction which you desire your career would be, or which you think that will make you more happy. So success will have different definitions basing on the situations and all. And as of me, for now, since I'm in college, I prefer that whatever makes me happy, like going out with friends, attending these meetings, and improving myself, trying something new every day. So these are my definitions of being success. So yeah, everyone can be successful as long as they can be content with what they have, and they can grow in a way they want their lives to go in. And that's all what my opinion is. Over to you, DTM Raghu.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rela. Life is all about growing and becoming a better version of yourself, time by time, second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour. Remember, keep practicing, keep growing. Toastmaster is a great platform. Unless you come forward, nobody can help because it's a self-paced program. Participate and learn more. One technique before I leave as a table topic master for today. It is prep. Make your point and then give reasons and then give example and then make a point again. This is one of the most sort of technique that you can use and attempt any topic, or even when you're talking to somebody or when somebody puts you on spot. With that note, signing off as a table topic master. Over to you, our beloved Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ravindra Verma.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raghu. You really chose very well topics for the day, and you have targeted all our appetite, and you satisfied us. And finally, you have given wonderful tips, and kudos to you. Thank you so much. Well, coming back to our theme, our next question should be, why is it so popular? Then my one-word answer is economy greed or Wall Street greed. In precise, these greedy corporations manipulate the system to gain their personal wealth by all means. How did they do it? First, they institutionalized the whole medical system by making policies at their convenience and by concealing the facts. Finally, converted the holy profession into global business, and this greed has started from Wall Street. Do you know how many times the diabetic charts were modified to increase their customer base? Do you know any prescription mention the side effects of the drug? Do you guys ever think, how come corporate hospitals offer expensive health checkup at an economic price? And how many of your reports are normal? Do you ever know that minor coronary blocks in our heart is common, but when you go with an acute heartburn, might be due to acidity, but these corporates suggest angioplasty? I can give you all the metrics, but I want you to Google it so that you will understand more with fun facts. Now it's time for evaluations. Every speaker is waiting for. Let me first call upon the first evaluator Toastmaster Manasa to deliver the first speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. You're not really free until you are free from trying to please everybody. You are an extraordinary speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Ravi. Your topic, Are We Really Free, is something which made us introspect and also made us realize, are we really free from all the restrictions and boundaries which are imposed on us? You had a really good voice modulations, like having different voice changes for different characters which you quoted in the speech. For example, you had one voice for yourself and another one for the boss which you enacted in the speech. And you had a good usage of hand gestures which were also properly being visible. The only thing which I felt to recommend was that I felt the conclusion of the speech was a little abrupt. I was looking more to hear from you. And overall, to conclude, it was an amazing speech with good content, astounding voice modulations, and perfect hand gestures, which made us introspect. And also, the only thing I felt that can be changed is the conclusion, which was little abrupt. Looking forward to your upcoming speeches and all the best for your future projects. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manasa. Now, may I call upon DTM Padmakumar sir to deliver his evaluation report on Toastmaster Nisar.
Thank you very much. Speak not because you have to say something. Speak because you have something to say. As Toastmasters, we love stage time. However, what motivates people to listen to us is that we have something valuable to say, as did DTM Nisar today. He said he had forgotten to include the word of the day, innovativeness. Some speeches extrinsically vocalize the word innovation. However, in my opinion, DTM Nisar intrinsically baked in the spirit of innovation when he gave a simple mechanism for us to remember what he was talking about, the ABC technique. I love the way in which he described each of these. What I would like also add is that the second part of holding the baby was something which was really an eyebrow lifter for me. It was really fantastic. What could DTM Nisar have done better to make a speech to the next level? Now, ABC offers a possibility to also talk about always be cheerful, which could nicely align with his speech of smiling always. The second recommendation I would give to DTM Nisar is that if you include a small anecdote or a personal experience or a small story for maybe about half a minute or to 40 seconds, it will add to the value and memorability of your speech. However, overall, in summary, I would say you met your objective of having a speech with a purpose. It was a very purposeful, intentional speech that you gave today on the value of smiling. And the simple technique that you gave enhanced the memorability of what you had to say to us. If you just add some anecdote or personal story or experience, it would add even further. As they say, simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. And today, DTM Nisar, I saw that in your speech. Thank you very much. Back to you, General Valvet.
Thank you so much, DTM Kumar sir. It's really nice feedback. Well, may I call upon Toastmaster Mary Thomas to give her evaluation on DTM Rosalind Khan's speech. I think you're on mute.
Thank you, Tabletop. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. And very good evening to my distinguished Toastmaster speaker, Rosalind Khan. Her speech was to, her pathway speech was to write a speech with purpose. Let me just run through the plus points in the speech. Number one requirement was the speech is to learn or review basic methods of writing a speech. A good tick on that one. Pass. Number two, present it in a well-organized manner. Tick. Number three, to write a speech with purpose. Tick. Number four, a well-delivered speech. Tick. Number five, speech content and style should work well together. Final tick. Let me just get to help you to stand in your power, Rosalind. My suggestions would be the speech title, TV Trauma to Tragedy. It's an innovative title, but it kind of got me, I'm speaking for myself here. I wasn't sure of what the title would actually entail. And I was waiting for you to describe the speech or tally up or streamline the speech with the title, TV Trauma to Tragedy. Secondly, the speech purpose statement. I was trying to get your speech purpose statement prior to the speech, but I wasn't able to. And I was still trying to get it from your speech, and I was still not able to. Therefore, I'm not so sure what exactly is your clearly defined speech purpose statement. The other part I would say is that for me, I would want a more clarity and focus on the speech content. I understand that you brought up 2 points. I got that. Make sure you do things on time, be there on time. I understand that. But as you went progressed in explaining it, it just got lost in the woods. So I just kept waiting, like, okay, let me hear some more, let me hear some more. It still got lost in the woods. So I would like you to have it a bit more put into focus, streamline it more so that the audience can actually get what you're trying to say. The other part is that the goal was to meet the expressed purpose statement. Again, I wasn't able to get a clear one on that one. In spite of all of that, Rosalind, you're an advanced speaker. You're a seasoned speaker. Whatever that I'm saying is for you to stand in your power as a distinguished Toastmaster and a great speaker. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mary Thomas, for your wonderful evaluation. Well, now it's time for tag team's report. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it's more excited for me. May I call upon Toastmaster Rohan Bansal to deliver his evaluation report of TMoD for the day, Ravindra Verma, that is me. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ravindra, also my target speaker for the day, who's conducted most of the meeting. It has been a pleasure evaluating you and the project that you've been delivering. Firstly, I absolutely love the way that the speaker has introduced or invoked curiosity in the audience when he started the session with asking questions to the audience about their day-to-day lives and what sort of medicines use in our daily lives. And that in itself is a mark of a great host is you involve the audience in some part of the discussion and keep the dialogue going throughout the session as Toastmaster of the day. So great job in starting off the project or your hosting session on a very strong note. So there, Toastmaster Ravindra. Secondly, I love the way the speaker handle the transitions so beautifully from one section to the other. So starting from introductions of all the speakers to evaluators, and then handing over the stage to the table topic master, and finally conducting the evaluations as well as conducting the meeting on general. It was handled very smoothly and seamlessly, and we did not see any disturbances by the members, which was a key aspect of the meeting, of the objectives, which was to handle the technical issues along the way, which was done beautifully. So great job done there as well. Lastly, I would just say that the speaker talked a lot about medicine, shared a lot of interesting facts along the way. So the speaker definitely did justice to the topic itself and the project, which was to disseminate information to the audience, and that was done very well by Ravindra. So great job done on achieving all the project objectives so beautifully throughout his time as Toastmaster of the day. Now I have some recommendations for the speaker to implement in his future speeches. Firstly, I noticed that the speaker had a consistent tone throughout much of the day. Now, the fact that he was including such interesting facts and topics from around the world, from including corporations, from how they're using medicine, it would be helpful to include and wonder just to keep the audience alive and energetic throughout the speech. And I think as a host, that would add great value to your journey as a host, because you have to have ebbs and flows of throughout your time as a Toastmaster of the day or a host. So that is one recommendation. Secondly, the speaker included mostly facts throughout the entire time as Toastmaster of the day, but I would also like the speaker to include some anecdotes or some motivational stories, how and why the speaker chose this particular topic, because I think as a host, your audience would like to know what prompted you to take up this topic and deliver it in this way. We mix up some personal stories with these facts, and that would balance the entire proposition of modern medicine out in a very similar fashion. All in all, just to summarize, great work on achieving the speech objectives, on handling the meeting so beautifully, and invoking curiosity in the audience. I would recommend the speaker to have some voice modulation through any speech and mixing personal anecdotes as well. Looking forward to your future times as host as well. And back to you, Ravindra. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ravindra, for your wonderful feedback and valuable suggestions. I'll definitely consider your suggestion and apply it into my next speeches. Well, it's time for tag team report, where everybody are excited to hear. Let me call upon the timer of the day, Toastmaster Rela, to deliver her report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ravindra. Hello, everyone. I'm back with the report. And as of table topic section, we don't have any disqualifications. And also evaluation section, we don't have any disqualification. But just in the prepared speech section, DTM Rosalind just took 7 minutes and 39 seconds to complete her speech. So that is a criteria we need to consider as a disqualification. And that is for my report. Thank you, everyone. Over to you, Toastmaster Ravindra.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rela. Now, may I call upon Toastmaster Anne, with the double designations for Liz, to deliver her grammarian as well as our counter report.
Thank you, Mr. TMoD. And as a grammarian, I was very happy and innovated by some lovely structure, voice, clear purpose. And I want to commend Mary, in particular, Raghu and Nizar, on having very strong voices. And you continue to slow down and keep your impact with your pace. Well done. Also, Padma Kumar, He has a wonderful slow pace, and it's so easy to listen when that pace is right. Congratulations. Toastmasters of the day. Everybody, how many times did you use the word of the day? Put your hand up. Anybody? All right, I had TMoD once and Padmukar once. I couldn't remember anybody else, but I was waiting for more. You are the top of the game. You can get any word in any sentence, and I want to encourage you to use whatever word is thrown at you next week. I was very excited by some visual imagery. Hang on to your chair, said DTM Rosalind. Life is not a prepared speech, Raghu. A smile is just a natural mood booster. So some powerful use of words and vocabulary. I had repulsive mindset, Raghu, and your table topics just burnt with wonderful phrases. The questions you asked, my favorite was your high school love. I heard retropricity, and I cannot say some of these big words, introspect, nicely align. Continue to use the power of words and remember strong voice when you slow down. Spice up the speech with innovative language. With some lovely quotes, and the speech titles again were a work of art. Miles to Grow, Are We Really Free? TV Trauma to Tragedy. So you can get that grammarian spice with the title. I was a little distracted with word endings. For example, DTM Rosalind, you say talking, it is talking. There is a G on the end of that word, and it makes the language harsher. Pronunciation, mispronunciation of the consonant was an offense. I heard taught instead of thought, vel instead of well, world instead of world, then, we, always, I think somebody meant always. So those consonants, we need to just constantly work at them. Grammarian police, I was taken aback by some of the speed of your language. Pay attention to pause, to stop, to breathe, and to think. Those pauses are so important in the English grammar. I also heard something more happier, Nizark. I think you just say more happy. Incomplete sentences is another area we can work on. Missing out the A, medicine for cough, medicine for a cough. I want to commend those people who use the 1, 2, 3 method of structure, DTM Rosalind, and the ABC, Nizark. Wonderful use of structure, and it makes it so easy to listen to. Overall, this meeting was very innovative, clear, concise delivery. The imagery was wonderful, and continue to innovate with your pronunciations and the speed of your language. Innovate to graduate. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anne-Marie. And we are really grateful. Accepting 2 roles and concentrating 2 roles is not a small thing, and you did a great job. Thank you so much once again for that.
Do you want the AR reports?
Yes.
Sorry, yeah.
Go ahead.
I want to encourage you, again, the power of the pause, and that's going to cut down on the offenses. Rohan, you use it more than 5 times, and you say to quite often, and and I heard a repetition, yup, and 1 so. Rila, again, try and slow down before you speak, and you've used that 4 times. You'd had 1 well and 1 so. Ravina, Toastmaster of the day, again, and several times. Nizrak, table topics, 4 times. Raghu, you had twice. And Mary, you had and when you opened up, and you did a repetition, her, when you were introducing valuation. So that rounds up my AR report. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Well, to conclude, I'm not against the whole English medicine, but the unfair practices by so-called economy grade. My advice is not to addict to the medication for every small symptom. Never encourage over-the-counter medicine. For the others who don't know over-the-counter medicine, we go by our self-medication. Whenever you feel like in cold or a fever, you go and take one paracetamol, or you just go, pass by a medical store and ask him and you take it. So it actually creates, adverse drug reaction, which is more dangerous than any other diseases. So make yourself fit by improving immunity with healthy habits like regular exercise and good diet. Try home remedies first. Always say take second opinion before undergoing any treatment. And that's it about my theme for today. Thank you so much for everyone listening to me patiently. And I'm taking, over to you, to presiding officer of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ravindra. Big round of applause for Ravindra for taking the role and completing his Pathways project successfully. I invite the guests in the meeting for their feedback, and also if they see this as an opportunity of growth. Women Vijay and Ishwar Rao. Will you be able to talk? Prala, Dr. C. Yeah, sorry.
Hello, Toastmasters. This is my first session attending this Toastmasters. I never attended. So this is all new to me. Is everyone able to hear me?
Yes, we are able to.
Yeah, this is all new. The session was very much organized. I really liked it. I couldn't take the table topics because I didn't know whether I can speak for a minute or two. I don't know. That's why. I have one doubt for the Toastmaster and Mary. What's the mistake? What's wrong with the fillers? Well, these kind of fillers you're saying that these should not be there in the speech.
We are at the top of the game as per Toastmasters, and it distracts from the message.
Okay.
And what we're trying to encourage as an AR counter is that you pause and think before you start. But doesn't make you sound confident. It actually detracts because people are listening to those little fillers.
Okay, right. Yes, but I heard some native speakers using these fillers in their regular speech. That's why I have that.
I'll just give an example. You're riding a car or a vehicle on any road, let us say. You use your clutch and brakes. Yeah. Think about it. If you start using it so frequently, then you have a bumpy ride. Exactly, that's what happens when you are going to use a lot of clutch words. Clutch words doesn't mean that you cannot use them, but how you use them. If you're taking that support of those and the support of R to start saying it, just because you are not able to think about it is what it is all about. When she presents the report, it doesn't mean that you are listed as a culprit here. Only thing that based upon that report, you need to work upon improving yourself. There's always a scope of improvement. You need to work upon it. And Toastmasters is not a very told that you fail or pass. The fail-safe environment, which is why we invite the guests to speak here. This is the only opportunity in table topics where you can speak and improve yourself. So join next meeting too and participate in table topics and improve yourself.
Sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you. DTM.